Um, so today for our math lesson, we are going to do some measuring, which we've done before, but today's is a little bit different than how you've measured before. But before we get into that, we're going to quickly go over our even numbers and our odd numbers. So remember, your even numbers, if you count by twos, you're going to start with 0, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. You know how to count by twos. But you need to remember that your even numbers will always end with one of these numbers. For example, the number 24 ends with a 4. Another example, 76, that number ends with a 6. The last digit in the number 76 is a 6, which means that 76 is an even number. For your odd numbers, it's the opposite of all the other numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So odd numbers are always going to end with one of those numbers. For example, 13 ends with a 3. The last digit in the number 13 is a 3. Your second example, we'll do 49. That number ends, the last digit is a 9. That's an odd number. So 49 is an odd number. If you want to, you can pause the video. I'll get you started really quick and you can count your even and odd numbers. If not, just bear with me really quick and we'll get into our lesson. Even numbers, we're going to start with 0 and we're going to count all the way to 100. I'm not going to count all the way to 100. You are, so if you are going to do this, pause the video so you can count, okay? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Keep going, okay? Great job. For your odd numbers, we're going to count from 1. I don't know what I'm doing with my pen. Sorry, guys. We're going to count from 1 all the way to 101. Again, I'm not going to count the whole way. I'll get you started and then we'll get into our lesson. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Keep going. Okay, for our lesson today, we're going to be measuring, like I said. We've used this tool before. What is it? It's a ruler. So if you notice on this side up here, it says inch, which that's what we've used before. We know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot and a ruler measures 1 foot. But did you also notice that there's numbers down on this side on the bottom? This is making my face look pretty weird. It's kind of like those Snapchat filters, huh? Okay, on this side, it says cm. Those two letters, a C and an M, that stands for this word, centimeters. Now, centimeters, if we were to break this up, centi, C-E-N-T-I, that means 100. And then meters is just another way to measure. People in like England, most places around the world use these types of measurements. We're just kind of weird in America and we don't use it very often. But for today's lesson, we are going to use centimeters. So this means that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. But if you look on your ruler, hopefully you have a ruler that measures with centimeters. If not, I actually got this one today from the dollar store. There was this kind, the clear one, and then there was also a 2-pack of wooden rulers. So if you need a ruler with centimeters on it, head to the dollar store and get one for $1, okay? Anyway, if you look on the centimeters on this ruler, how many centimeters are there? 30. There's 30 centimeters in 1 foot, okay? So for today's lesson, you're gonna measure a bunch of things, and I picked things that I think everyone should have in their house. So if not, talk to me. I'll let you know what to do. However, pretty sure everyone will have these items. So when you measure something, it's the same thing as you would with inches. You're gonna start on the inches. You would start with 0 centimeters. You're gonna, oh, that's way Down low. You're going to start with 0, okay? So I am not going to do this for you. What's going to happen is on the Google form that you do after this lesson, it's going to ask for each one of these items. So I'm going to show you the items. You'll have time to go get them and measure them, and then you're going to put the answers on the Google form, okay? So the first thing you're going to measure in centimeters, the cm, is just a pen. Everyone should have a pen. I want you to measure your pen. I'm going to start it at 0, give you a little hint. Hopefully you saw what number it was at. There's your measurement in centimeters. So, like for example, if I were to just measure this pen in centimeters, okay, fine, I'll give you the answer. It's about 14 and a half, 15 centimeters. So I would write 15 cm, just like it says on your ruler. That's how I want you to write it on the Google form, okay? You have to put the label, because if you just write 15, what am I gonna say? 15 what? 15 boogers? No, that's nasty. 15 centimeters. Make sure you put the cm, okay? Okay. Second item you're gonna measure is a paper clip, okay? Sometimes people have different sized paper clips, and that's fine. Remember in class we measured these little ones and we measured bigger ones that were probably about that big? I don't care what size you measure, doesn't matter. Just a paper clip. The third item you're gonna measure is a sponge, okay? Most sponges are the same size, so it should work. The fourth thing you're gonna measure, hopefully every single one of you has one of these, a toothbrush. If it's a child's toothbrush, it's gonna be smaller than an adult toothbrush. That's fine, doesn't really matter. Just measure a toothbrush. This one has a hair in it. This is not one that I use to brush my teeth. I use this to clean, but hopefully you have a toothbrush that you can measure in centimeters. And then the last one, you guys might think this is kind of funny, a roll of toilet paper, okay? But here's the deal. I don't want you to measure it this way. I want you to stand it up, and I want you to measure it this way, okay? So there's 5 items that you're gonna measure using centimeters. Remember to start with the 0 and to label it, to put your cm, so I know what you're talking about, okay? All right, guys, bye.